Hey guys, it's Hannah. I'm gonna share my turning points with you guys today. I kind of have three big turning points when I look back in my life that I'm gonna share with you today. So, the first turning point when I look and think about my life is my parents getting divorced. So, my parents got divorced when I was in 6th grade. This was huge for me. It was very different going from like having my parents with me and around me all the time to where I now was having to like split my time. So this was very interesting. My whole family dynamic changed. I was no longer, I don't know, it was just very, very hard and very different. I fell a bit into a very depression stage where I really struggled some days with the whole idea. So something that comes to mind when I think about this is Piaget's cognitive development theory. I was in the concrete operational stage. This is where you're like questioning things and you don't understand things. So like for me, I like abstract things. So like divorce was a very big abstract idea to me and I didn't understand it and couldn't comprehend it. It makes that whole time period kind of make sense for me now. Something else that sticks out is the attachment theory. So obviously I was in middle school, so I was in the far end of attachment theory, so I was attached to both my parents equally, and now all of a sudden my family was being split apart and sides kind of seemed to appear, so that was kind of hard for me. So I brought sunglasses to represent this time period because I wanted to hide. I was really depressed. The whole idea of my parents being divorced made me really sad, so I tried to hide. So sunglasses fits. So the next turning point is kind of like not exactly one date. It's kind of like 2 half-ish years of my life. I tore my ACL playing volleyball. So after my parents got divorced, I started playing volleyball, and I was playing like 6 days a week. I played club, I played high school, or not high school, I played middle school. And at a tournament, 8th grade year, I tore my ACL. So I had to have knee surgery, and this just kind of like started all of my knee problems. I continued on for the next year and a half and had 2 more knee surgeries. So I had 3 knee surgeries in all. This event like changed my life. I found a lot of my identity and self-worth in volleyball, and no longer being able to play was a big deal for me. Really had me questioning who I was and what my purpose was. So this was really hard. I found a couple quotes from a textbook that I thought really related to this time period. So the textbook says that athletic activity declines sooner for women during your teens and young adulthood. That was like very direct for me. Like after my knee surgery, sports was not in the picture for me. And then another quote I found was that like self-concept and identity are personal characteristics that play an important role in adolescence and during transition. So obviously like me finding my identity through volleyball and then no longer having it was a big deal, because self-concept is a big theme through adolescence and middle school. So my third turning point was my senior year of high school. I was able to intern. Go back. For my last turning point, my torn ACL, I just have a first aid kit because like when I look back on that time period, I just think of my surgeries and like band-aids and all of the pain and physical therapy that I had to go through. Yeah. So now back to turning point 3. My senior year, I was able to intern and student teach. So I was able to student teach my junior year in a 3rd grade classroom and my senior year in a 1st grade classroom. So these are major turning points. This is a big deal in my life because I was finally able to solidify my passion for teaching. One of my mentor teachers, my senior year mentor teacher, she was a devout Christian, and it really inspired me to want to push myself to be like her one day in the classroom, where like we were in a public school setting, but you could tell exactly her intention and who she was through her teaching, and that's just something I want for myself. And that also really pushed me to apply at OBU, which is a big part of my life. So something I found interesting about this is that my color on the personality quiz was gold, and the gold color really makes sense for teaching because the people who are gold really have a feeling of wanting to be useful and needed. And so like in education, that is a big fulfillment you can get. And then also Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I'm at the stage now, was at the stage where I was finally becoming confident in who I was and what my calling was and why I am where I am. And so that was very interesting in my development. And for this time period, I brought my Apple Watch because I got this my junior year, and I would wear it when I was teaching, like making lesson plans and teaching in the classroom, so I could stay on track with my schedules and leave on time, get back to school. So this really just reminds me of that time period in my life. Yeah, those are my turning points.